sorry about that. Let's restart this so that potentially I can trim this in the future. We're going to be AI-assisted coding today. We're going to be using Cursor. It's going to be backed by Claude-3.7. But the primary motivation for me doing this live stream is that over the last month, I've had multiple conversations with coworkers, non-coworkers, just people that are developers, and some of them are non-believers. They think that they will classically point out something that it doesn't do well and then say that it just provides no value. My pitch is that don't focus on what these AI tools are bad at. Focus on what they're good at. You know, the classic, it can't do X, therefore it sucks, I just think it's a mistake. If this is your opinion right now, my goal is to change your opinion. And the goal for the live stream today is we are going to tackle some problems that I've been unable to diagnose and solve, and have spent hours, if not more, trying to solve these tasks in the past. And we're going to be focusing on a programming language that's a little bit esoteric. It's not one of the array languages I like, but it is ClojureScript, which is the language that backs the plrank.com website that I have. And the last thing, I hope Phineas doesn't mind, because I'm going to kind of call him out. A former guest on multiple of my podcasts, ADSP, Arraycast, etc., sent me this after listening to Arraycast episode 100, which I thought was fantastic. I'm not going to read through this whole thing. If you want, pause the stream and read this. The main thing I want to highlight here is that this person was a skeptic. Then they took Claude Code, which is something that Anthropic ships. You don't get it through Cursor, although they do have some agent-based stuff through Cursor now. Although I haven't really used the agentic stuff. I typically just use the chat feature, but we're gonna try a bunch. This last paragraph. Today, I learned vibe coding is real, and if you're not doing it, then you will lose to people who do. Sorry, but these are the facts as of right now in 2025. If you're some sort of coding purist, you should plan to retire ASAP. I think this is a bit harsh, but I don't disagree that folks that aren't using these AI-assisted tools going forward are just going to lose out to folks that are, because it is a force multiplier. You can be anywhere from 10 times to 100 times to 1,000 times more productive. I think 2025 is the year of the 100x engineer. Maybe we should create a or I guess we've got. Why isn't this? Well, the slide deck has died, but that's all right. We don't need it anymore. So. What are we going to be doing today? Enough of pitching, let's actually put this stuff to use. This is a website that I created back in 2023, maybe? I don't actually know, a couple years ago. And it is written entirely in ClojureScript. For those of you that do not know, ClojureScript is a kind of JavaScript-y version of Clojure, which is a functional Lisp language. And the only reason I decided to write this in ClojureScript was that I had gone to was it in person or maybe it was a virtual meetup where they were programming in Clojure. And I like learning new languages. And it seemed actually quite easy to get started in building a website. And so after going to this meetup, shout out to Raphael in Toronto. If for whatever reason this comes across his email or Twitter or social, it's because of that meetup that I basically ended up building this website in ClojureScript. And I think, and actually the initial website that I built was Google Translate, which doesn't exist online. It just exists locally. But then I went and copy and pasted. This is much simpler. Basically, it just averages the different programming language ranking websites out there. So Stack Overflow, Octoverse, Redmonk Language. It takes them, averages them, adds some logos, and calls it a day. And you can kind of, as you select or unselect these websites, I'm getting a spam call, which I will ignore. It will basically change, and you can change the average rankings, and you can choose to show 10 or 20, and you can also do a comparison. Like right now, it's a 3-month delta. You can do a 6-month delta, 12-month delta, and you can also look at functional languages, array languages, etc. So if we actually go here, we can immediately go to opening an issue, which we don't actually want to do. In advance, I have created a GitHub issue called AI Coding Livestream, and these are the things that we are going to try and do today. And And actually, let me just pause because I've gotten some or comments in the chat. And actually, let me switch this. We are going to quickly put this on the left-hand side of the screen because it's going to be a little bit easier for me to read this. Jakob, who is a fellow C++ dev, even though I'm not really a C++ dev anymore, says, I've been using it for about 4 weeks, mostly for Python, with a little bit of C++. It's a real productivity gain. Some caveats, you need to read the code. There are mistakes. Be specific, guided. Yes, many times I ask for it to do something and it does the exact opposite of what I want, but you just need to hold its hand a little bit and you can get it to work. Prompting correctly is important. Understand how adding, removing context helps. And Mike says hi. Or wave hand emoji. So yes, feel free, ask questions. If you got tips, feel free to, help me out along the way. What are the things we're going to be doing today? So these are going to vary in difficulty. The first one is a bug that's been reported once or twice that basically shows that depending on the series or the way that you click things, you can end up completely destroying the format. And I should say, there's a chance that, the AI-assisted, these AI tools aren't going to be able to solve this. I would be very surprised if every single one of these Claude-3.7 or other models. I guess Gemini 2.5 literally just dropped hours ago, and we do not have access to it yet, but maybe in a future stream we will. And that's the thing. Harish in the chat points out, ClojureScript may have less examples for AI to be trained on. That's exactly my point. If I were doing something in Python, in Rust, there's a huge corpus. But I think even for the technologies that there's less code out there, I think that we're still going to be able to solve all of these, if not some of these problems. I could be wrong, and then this stream is going to be a massive epic fail. And I have not done this stuff in advance. And admittedly, there have been some things. I tried to get Claude 3.7 to completely rewrite one of my websites, and it completely fell over. I basically pointed it at this GitHub repo and said, can you make this look modern and just nice? And it totally failed. However, another thing I did the other day was on this website, I asked it to add a dark light mode because I think at some point someone had requested that. Sure enough, you can see now I've got a little button down in the corner. I don't write HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. I vibe coded, just asked it. I had to kind of beat it over the head a couple times because for whatever reason, it was having trouble making this dynamic in the top left corner. And then also it was making the title go to dark, which you don't want that to be dynamic because it has a background. But after like 45 minutes of not knowing any JavaScript, CSS, or HTML, I've got this little button in the corner now. Perfect. And you can see it's not exactly perfect because the image that I'm using for this Apple Podcast logo, it's got a little, this irritates me because technically you want to trim this so that it's similar to the Spotify button. And you can also see that Erlang and Elixir and Rust, ideally you would have some different images so that when you've got the dark mode, they don't completely disappear. That being said, it's a podcast. I'm not making any money off of this podcast. And so for folks that like, and sorry for the YouTube viewer that I'm destroying your retinas, but the point being, I vibe coded this and it basically works. And I'm going to add this to my other websites. So what are we going to try and do today? The first one, I'm actually not sure if we're going to solve this first. Maybe we'll do this one second. But there's a bug that depending on the order that we click things, we get mistakes. So let's see if we can trigger it. And I wonder what the bug actually says. It says, I noticed that when you deselect all rankings and then select only one, the table loses it. So let's try that. Let's go back to all, and we deselect everything. And then, so this is, maybe we'll fix this because this is definitely a bug too. And then we just select one, it kind of goes back. Usually what I have to do is if I go to 10 and then I click one. So yeah, the series of steps that I have noticed is that you deselect everything, switch from 20 to 10, and then you reselect one of them, and then it's just completely broken. In fact, Sean Parent, for those of you that are aware of Sean Parent, luminary C++ individual, works for Adobe, he actually stumbled across this as well and let me know about it. And I said, I am aware, and I actually don't know what causes this. So we're going to try and fix this. Another thing we're going to try and fix is that ClojureScript, when you make changes, it basically it will regenerate a main.js file. This does not happen automatically, and so I have to recommit every time I make some kind of local change. I have to recommit manually a main.js file. And you should be able to have a GitHub action that notices that some of the closure script to the .cljs files have changed, and then just automatically regenerate this without me having to do it. Because what that ends up with is just like a unnecessary amount of noise in the GitHub contributions for JavaScript, which is a pain. And the other thing, and this is specifically when I was building this, I had to basically hard code all of these 3 months previous, 6 months previous, and 12 months previous, because I could not figure out how to do this dynamically in ClojureScript. And it seems like it definitely should be doable. I spent half a day trying to figure this out, and then I just gave up and I hard coded it. And over the last 2 years, every single time I add new data manually, I have to go in and basically adjust, this one to the 8th month, this one, everything needs to be manually adjusted. And we should, at the end of the day, just be able to delete this entire file and just have it dynamically based on the dates, look for the current one, one from 6 months ago, 12 months ago, etc. And Harris says, AI just generates code and doesn't care. I mean, we don't need it to care. We just need it to work. And so yes, let's go to, we're already here. We're actually in the wrong repo. We need to go to PLR, which is this website. And first thing I want to do is if all goes amazingly, we actually don't want to go to public. We want to go to source. Actually, I guess we got to go one more down. And actually, let me know if this font is too small. So if we go cat ls, does that give us? There we go. And then we go word count lines. There are, and are these all CLJS files? So I guess one's a closure file and 5 are closure script files. So there are 415 lines across these. So the whole website is 415 lines. My goal is that this will be less. We'll be able to delete some stuff. Harry says, it doesn't care how it looks, like the image explained you mentioned before. Like how the formatting of the code looks. Anyway, so which one should we do first? I think the toughest one, because I honestly know nothing about GitHub Actions, is going to be get it to deploy the main.js file. So let's start with that. We're gonna open this up, and I guess we are gonna go to, and probably I need to zoom in a bit on this. Make this full screen. And I guess, too, for folks that have not played around with Cursor, I guess first let's go to the GitHub workflows. So this is my script that does not actually work. At some point, I spent some time trying to figure this out, and it doesn't work. And the way that this works now is we've got ask mode, agent mode, and edit mode. I typically only use the ask mode, and then you've got a bunch of models that you can choose from. I guess this is a good time. I forgot to go to Web Dev Arena. This typically is the ranking for look at this. I just said the Gemini 2.5. So literally, I was recording a podcast for the last 2 hours, a Raycast episode 102, and while I was recording, Gemini 2.5 dropped, and I went and I noticed this on Twitter. I wonder if it's still one of the top things here. No, just a bunch of NVIDIA stuff because GTC was last week. All right, here we go. Someone's tweeting about Gemini 2.5, and it's not the one from Google, though, that I initially saw. Anyways, it linked to lmarena.ai. So this is web.lmarena.ai. And I thought this was the go-to leaderboard for coding in general. But apparently, it's the go-to leaderboard for web development coding, not necessarily coding in general. And if you go to lmarina.ai, then it brings you to this more involved website. And if we go to leaderboard here, you can go to overall and coding, and apparently Claude 3.7 is all the way down, tied for 9th behind all these. So I don't actually know what is the source of truth. Is it the coding leaderboard or is it the web dev leaderboard? Luckily, we're doing web development in ClojureScript today. So I guess it works for now, but I didn't realize. Anyways, and so supposedly Gemini 2.5 Pro, the one that just dropped, is the best. And when I had checked the web dev leaderboard, it wasn't here. And now it is. So although according to this, still it is not as good as Claude 3.7. Better than Claude 3.5. And until Gemini 2.5 dropped, Claude, aka Anthropic's models, had the number 1 and number 2 spot. So we shall be hard coding our model to Claude 3.7 thinking. But no, you can open this up, go to cursor settings, and go to models, and they got a whole list here. So you can see the Gemini 2.5 isn't here, but I imagine by the end of the day, they are very fast in updating these. And you got a bunch of stuff, DeepSeek, GPT 4.5, etc. We're going to be using Claude 3.7. If we're having trouble with Claude 3.7, we might switch to a different model. But anyway, so here we go. It's been, 20 minutes. We had some tech issues. And we're going to say... this, we don't even need to tell it this, but this is a CLJS project, and I want to be able to have the main.js file automatically generated anytime there is a change to the CLJ or CLJS files in source PLR via GitHub Actions. Currently this does not work. Are you able to make it work? That's it, folks. You hit Control Enter if you want it to scrape your whole code base, and then we sit back, relax, and hopefully this works. Like I said, usually you can't zero shot this. But we're gonna give it a chance, you know. So on pushes to main, I don't actually know if we want this, right? So it's source.plr, and there's no extra slash in here, so we might need to change that. Specific path triggers, add a path filters on push. I guess there's some comment somewhere that it fixed a spelling mistake. So, I mean, this is what we do, folks. We just hit apply. We hit accept all. And then, so hopefully we're good to go. So, I mean, we will try at first. I don't think this will work because this isn't the correct path. I mean, definitely it is the case that it's just, so, I don't know. Let's ask. The source files are, and actually you can just copy and paste some code, are directly in /source/plr. Will this work? Files that are directly in and any subdirectory. If you want to be absolutely explicit, all right, it says it's not necessary. So let's see if this works. We are just going to I mean, I really hope this works. It would just make my point. My point, the stream won't be over, but and actually I think it's construction worker is the emoji. Attempt to fix CI to auto gen main.js. Now we go back here, we go to this, come to PLR, and if we go here, actually, how do we, can we go to details? I guess we got to go to this step now. I mean, did that work? Maybe. Might have worked. I guess the I mean, the site is still up. So I guess the question, the way we have to check this is we have to just actually go make a change and see if it's reflected. I'm not sure if there's actually a better way to verify which one we'll be looking at. Yeah, let's just go do that. I mean, there might be a better way, but like I said, I'm not a web dev. So let's go to core. And let's just change the month from January. I mean, typically I only do this when I update one of the sites, but it is technically March. So we save this. Change title. And so typically, just so that you would know what I've done in the past, I think it's MPX, yeah, Shadow. This will build a local version, and then you can open it on localhost. Technically, I have to redirect all the images, but you can see now here it's got the March. And if we kill this watch, you can see now that there is a main.js here. So that's basically like a regenerated main.javascript file. So the idea is that I would typically add that. Although, what happened to change title? So did I push this? So usually I would add that main.js file. But hopefully, if we come back here, we will refresh this. You can see now that it's doing a bunch of stuff. You know, we don't actually know. Is at some point, is it copying and pasting a JavaScript file somewhere? I mean, it is successfully building and deploying. So the question is how quickly is this reflected on the website? Usually it takes a few seconds. And actually, while we're waiting for it, if we go back here, I mean, definitely this, I think this should have been long enough. So here we go, F5. So it doesn't look like it's working. Although we can't know for certain. And well, so let's just go. I just click on the actions. Oh, let's just, yeah, it definitely doesn't look like it's working. And then it says, find the most we can move for, click on it to see the details, expand the build. And copy assets to deployment folder. I see there's a GitHub Pages branch as well. I mean, we can go back and check the live site, but I'm almost positive that's not. So one, there doesn't seem to be a I wonder if I can go copy and paste. 3 in the build latest GitHub action is no assets. Let me just Build with Jekyll. Fact. I mean, I guess copy. What does this do? Yeah, I mean, we can give them this. This is the raw log. Ooh, wow, look, it says update now. I bet that that's Gemini 2.5. Interesting. So the problem is that GitHub Pages automatically is run, and we don't want that to run, I guess. We just want this. I mean, we'll give this a shot, although and then we need to go and although, do we need to point? I mean, we'll do that later. Oh, never mind. We don't actually need to do that. So will this work? So this is attempt number 2. Let's come back here, go to Actions. Come to this. I mean, we expect this to not build with Jekyll. Which it is definitely doing. Although actually, let's check. Did it create a new branch at least? It did not, so it's still not. All right, let's follow. We've got this. We accept. We've got this. We accept all. And now it wants us to do the following. And I will probably do this off screen just in case there's any. So go to the settings, navigate to pages. And technically GitHub pages doesn't actually work at the moment. Under deploy and buildment source. Well, so yeah, let's. This is attempt 3. And we're going to come back here. Why is this disabled? Okay, we will enable this. And we're going to go back to all workflows. And then run workflow. Interesting. So now this is running. Will this work? This is promising, folks. This is further than we've ever gotten. So we want to say, yeah, we want to see this copy compiled JS to public working. I mean, it is compiling right now. I mean, this is still pretty good. Ran this manually. Got the following error. All right, it's just a permissions issue. So I want to go to general, navigate down to workflow. Actions, general. Read and write. Save. All right, I just did that off screen. We're going to come back here. Run this again. We're going to go back here. I'm going to see this again. I guess we could be watching this a little bit more excitingly. It is at the same point it was last time, but it had permission issues, and now we have enabled that. Will it work? Oh boy, folks. Look at that. Did that work? I mean, that looks promising. So I think wait, what happened here? Copy. Okay, I mean, definitely seems promising. We now have 2 branches. So now I need to go over to my pages. We need to deploy from GitHub pages. Save this. And oh. There is a main.js here, but this doesn't look promising. I mean, am I able to search for Jan here? So this actually doesn't have the updated thing. So something still went wrong here. But this is still, we're making progress, folks. We are making progress. We now have our I mean, what if we look at the raw log again? Okay, so we have made some good progress. Read/write permissions are enabled. It looks like the main.js file wasn't copied correctly, even though the was Let's see what Claude has to say. Well, what is... It wants us to do what? You need to update your HTML file to point to the correct location of the main.js file. Here's what you should check in your public. I mean, it already does that though. Oh, I see JS dot instead of this or this. Okay. I don't really know if we need this. But we can always remove it if need be. Actually, we already have this. This is attempt 4. And we come back to my guess is Interesting. Now this thing doesn't automatically deploy. So I mean, first things first, we need to get this to work. And come back here. You always got to test in production, folks. Bring down the website. All right, it's finished. This is probably going to take a second. I am trying to improve the website, Chris. I mentioned at the beginning that I always have to automatically generate a new main.js file based on the closure script changes. So right now, I'm just trying to get Cursor and Claude 3.7 to fix my GitHub Actions to automatically do this. And we're making progress. So it's building correctly. It's been copied correctly. The deployment to GitHub Pages branch was successful. I mean, so Claude seems to think it works. Let us go check. I mean, definitely. I mean, so let's go check the branch. We've got this main.js file that, I mean, it is correct that it is, so if we go 2025, actually, let's just look at the raw version of this. Yes, it's my first time using Claude 3.7 with ClojureScript, but I have faith in this AI's ability. And it is correctly generating the main.js. So the only question remains is, why is this? And that's the thing, is historically speaking, and this is main. Why are we in main? We're supposed to be in GitHub Pages. So yeah, this is all created 12 minutes ago. And index.html is pointing at js.main.js. So why is this not working? This is going to be a 404 as well. So let's go ask. So great. It seems like everything is working swell. However, I change the GitHub pages to point at the pages branch, but currently the website shows a 404. What is wrong? We're so close, folks. We're so close. And this, I think, is the trickiest of the tasks that we're going to tackle today. It's not a publishing delay. Check the settings. The source is set to deploy from branch. Branch is set to GitHub pages. And the site, it definitely shouldn't be here. I mean, if it's there, that's a problem. Oh, shit. So it is working to a certain extent. Oh, did I reset the custom domain when I did this? I mean, let me check one of my other websites at the moment. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing anything from scratch. Right now, I'm trying to solve problems that have been unsolvable in the past. I'm not a CI dev, so I don't know how to use this action stuff. I mean, I know the basics, but generating a, main.js based on some closure script change that triggers a workflow and then publishes to a new branch and launches that, I have no idea how to do all that stuff. However, my trusty friend Claude does know how to do this. We need to go, though, to GitHub ADSP and go to settings, go to pages, and I did indeed reset the domain. So I need to come back here. I'm doing this off here, and if I go PL rank save, DNS check is in progress. Dun, 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 dun. This is fully paid. All right, folks. It might take a few seconds. I mean, if that's all that happened. I mean, that's while we're waiting for this. Oh, there we go, folks. Look at that. Look at that. 40 minutes, folks. 40 minutes. I mean, you might be thinking, Connor, all your images are gone. Well, we've actually fixed another problem while doing this. In my core file, whenever I was building locally or publishing, I never understood why this was the case, but I would have to switch between public media and media. And now I can just commit this change. And so actually, wait, before we do this, we got to go back and we say, we always, this is awesome. It works. I just needed to, and I think I can show you guys this. Basically, it's not divulging any secrets here. Basically, the issue is once I switched this from main to GitHub Pages, it just had reset the custom domain that I own. And so once I retyped that in, we are back and off to the races. So this is awesome. It works. I just needed to update the custom domain. Now, can you help me deploy this workflow automatically whenever there is a change pushed? I should have said currently I have to run it manually, but it'll probably infer that. I see. So supposedly this is already working. I just haven't been triggering it because I've only been modifying the build and publish.yaml files. So that means that it already is hopefully working. So I have a change to the core.cljs file. I add this. All it is changing where I'm getting the media from, which should fix all the images. So we are going to fix image is. I guess technically there should have been a bug there, but we are excited about it. So a sparkle works, and we come back here, and we want to go to. We're missing all the action. We got to go to actions. Boom! Look at that, folks. It's automatically running. And it is in the compilation process right now. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful, folks. I was a little concerned. So this is an old. So currently, we got no logos, but that's because we were pointing at the wrong place. We come back here. It's still compiling. Oh, this is magnificent. It's magnificent, folks. Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. Look at this. Look at this. The power of AI, folks. And it's done. How quickly until the images show up? We'll give it a few seconds. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Chris says, so then what did it figure out for you? Or save you time doing? It figured out everything for me. I mean, while we wait for these logos to show up, we can technically go to, this was the problem. I had to manually generate this main.js by running shadow-cljs, and I wanted to automatically trigger this. So if we go to my commit history, the last 5 commits, I guess, attempting to autogen main.js. So if we look at the changes here, it made this workflow run whenever there's a change to any of these files, fixed some spelling mistakes, and then created this thing which basically is going to copy our main.js file that is run by this workflow to the correct spot. And then along the way, a few other fixes. And I had to manually run the workflow in order to get the GitHub pages branch initially created. And anyways, it took a few attempts. But basically, I had this workflow here, but it didn't work. It didn't automatically trigger stuff. I don't know the first thing about, adding stuff to this. So it configured the YAML to what you needed. Configured, wrote the new things, and then also told me that I, needed to go to the settings and point at new things. I'm sure I could have figured this out by, except that's the thing, is I tried to figure this out, a year or two ago at some point. Actually, when did I open this? January 16th, 2023. So I think that's actually when I created this website. And I realized that I was kind of hacking this by just manually generating the main.js. And anyway, so now it works. And if we go back to the PL rank here, oh, it's still not working. Why is that the case? Oh, it is. It's just cached incorrectly. So the images are now back. So Chris says, would you say this saves you the need to gain expertise in GitHub Actions? Absolutely. I mean, all I needed to know is what I wanted to do. And admittedly, so this is the thing, is I showed this slide at the beginning, which, people say this, it can't do X, therefore it sucks. But the thing is it didn't work on the first try, right? I had to do 4 different iterations, kind of fumble around. I had to give it some raw logs of the failing GitHub Actions. But after, a few iterations of this, I didn't need to go talk to someone that was a CI dev. I didn't need to go become a CI dev myself. And I mean, it is easy enough to make sense of the changes that it's making in order to get this to work. And now it does. So I can say Claude 3.7 helped me get this working. And the thing is, I don't want to be a CI dev. I just want this to work, So fantastic. We are now 1 down. Let's do what is going to be the next hardest thing. So there's this bug that has plagued this site for many times, and we've seen it before, right? So if we come back here, I do not know why the caching here. Chris is saying, if in theory GitHub Actions installs an AI chat interface, then it might have been able to configure the YAML itself. Sure, yeah. I mean, they build their Copilot into this. They might have been able to fix this for me. I do not know, though, why the caching isn't working on this yet. So actually, maybe let's just do it on Firefox, because it's irritating me that the caching is not showing the logo. So what was the thing? We unselected everything, dropped down to 10, and then went back. It didn't work. This didn't fail this time. Maybe it's only a Chrome issue. Huh, doesn't fail on Firefox. Let's see if it works here. We do this, we do this, we do this. We go down to 10. See, it fails on Chrome. It doesn't fail on Firefox, though. I mean, let's try the exact same thing we just did. So we get unselect, 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 go to 10, and then hit red monk. Works on Firefox, folks, but it doesn't work on Chrome. I have no idea, but maybe Claude can fix this. So let's go to core. And once again, we are going to, we want a new chat though. Hello. There is a bug that, a UI bug that triggers sometimes only on Chrome for some reason. Basically, if you deselect all of the, and actually let's see, let's look at that. The caching has been fixed. And let's see, even if we get rid of, if we don't go to 10, it doesn't break. It only breaks when you go to 10. So if you deselect all of the language rankings and go from showing 20 to 10 languages, the table of language rankings completely breaks. And what does it show here? And shows 2, 3, 4 on one line, 5, 6, 7 on the next row. Eight, 9, and then the column headers. It is super messed up. I have no idea what could be causing this. Do you have any idea / know a fix that might prevent this. All right, here we go. Control Enter Claude 3.7 Sonnet Thinking. Took us 40 minutes to solve one problem. The most difficult. This is definitely the second most difficult. I've looked at this. I have no idea what is causing this in Chrome, but it's thinking away. Table rendering, bug analysis and fix. It says it can see what might be causing the table rendering issue. That probably likely occurs when all language checkboxes are deselected and the number of languages is changed. In this change, you're trying to create a table with invalid or inconsistent data. The key addition is a check for every false mask, which ensures that the table doesn't attempt to render when all language rankings sources are deselected. I mean, sounds reasonable. So it's saying that we're going to add this comment, or it's saying delete this comment because it's recognized that. Actually, wait. Can we put that back? Interesting. So this is a comment that I wrote, and maybe it just read that comment and then tried to fix it. So sure, well, let's get rid of this, add this, and we're actually just going to build this locally now. All right, it is built, and actually, I think now. Oh no. How does this work now? Are we able to? This might have been actually part of the problem. Why? So potentially the changes that we made, although we didn't make any changes other than in the YAML files. Right? So actually, let's go back and get rid of this. Huh. Get diff source. Right. So my guess is actually this was a compilation fail. Although it didn't Is it because I changed? I mean, we did change the index, right? We did change. All right, so it looks like MPX shadow. Doesn't work after the changes I made for the why not? I mean, it seems fine. What is going on? Index.html. I mean, well, what happens if we do this? I guess we, I mean, no, it's still. I mean, I imagine there's a bunch of. I mean, Chris is saying in order for it to solve this, it needs to be trained on ClojureScript, and I'm sure that there's a ton of ClojureScript code out there, or at least enough for it able to figure this stuff out. So yeah, what are the? I mean, maybe not, right? It's able to draw on its knowledge from other languages like JavaScript and apply it to this stuff. If it has a similar issue and then just like translate it into ClojureScript speak. Yeah, let's do this. I mean, the only changes we made was to the index.html and the media, but the media only breaks. The only changes that I made to non-YAML GitHub action files was the so as long as there exists some similar pattern somewhere, it can converge. Yeah, that's my guess. I mean, if it says so. Doesn't look like that worked. Whoops. I guess we can do it in here. It's compiling. Am I excited for the MLB season? No, I do not watch sports really. If you modified HTML to use I mean, so that definitely is the issue. I reverted to, and it fixed the issue. So how can we make this work for both local npx watch and no. I mean, I think there's thousands and thousands of people using Cursor. All right, so it wants me to go back to... I mean, it actually did tell me this, but I didn't click on this. What happened to the... Wow, what's going on here? I know companies that have more than double that number. You're saying that you only a couple thousand? I know single companies that have more developers at that one company using this editor. So I think you're widely underestimating the usefulness. Yeah, we need to get rid of this. And I thought, so I don't know why they don't I see. Closure script is a completely different language. It compiles to JavaScript. Yeah, that's not working. What are the changes? This still... You can look at the file structure. Same. What is going on here? don't think this needs to be this complicated, to be honest. Do we both I guess it's yeah, I know I can do cd / whatever, but it's just a habit. Do I even need both dev and release? Can I just have one? Ah, seems much better. So we've done that. We've done that. We've done that. All right, if this works, I really hope this works. The question is can I get rid of like the target stuff? But we'll see first. It's compiling. It is compiled. Now we check. Look at that, folks. Look at that. Once again, Claude 3.7. It was a bit of a struggle for 10 or 15 minutes there, but that's because whatever this sample project that I used 2 years ago, it's got, you know, a bunch of, I don't know. We got a little confused. So let's commit some stuff very quickly so that we don't lose this. So yeah, app is replaced with dev. Whoa, why are we deleting that though? That's concerning. And actually, I mean, yeah, so this is working now. Well, let's just go ask. Let's go ask. Are we able to delete target folder, or do we need that for something still. The LLM definitely gives the impression of a... I mean, we don't need the LLM to understand. We just need the LLM to give us... we're now building directly to public.js in both... So I mean, like I said, I'm a bit nervous here, but we'll have the history. So, index, public index, shadow, and actually we're leaving source alone. Whoa, 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 whoa! What the? What did I just do there? I guess. So I think we're going to be able to delete dev, replace it with JS. All right, let's just test this again. So we're going to go watch app. My feeling actually is that we didn't even really need to rename it to app. We could have left it as dev. Yeah, let's see if we can get it to... is it possible to rename app to dev? All right, what's the change here? Small change. Small change. So I see. So potentially the actual only issue here was this. If we had appointed this at js.main, and I think actually we can and I think also that means we can well, I'm not entirely sure. Actually, we don't want app, we want dev now. It works, folks. I guess I should have shown. So I think we can get rid of target. But so let's add index shadow and let's see if we can just completely eat this and see what happens. Compiling. Look at that, folks. It works. And now what happens if we delete? I mean, this could break stuff, but I'm sure we can fix it if it does. I think it's just going to regenerate it, right? Indeed. So I wonder, I don't even think, I think we can just add to the git ignore if I have one. The public slash JS and add that deleted folder. Oops. All right, so I guess this is once again, I guess what it's called, Sparkles. Simplified. Structure slash build. And then I don't even know if we need the removal of this. Potentially we do, because we no longer need to copy this stuff. Actually, yeah, we got rid of the target, so we definitely do. Whoops. All right, so now we can finally go back to this to see if this fixes stuff. So now we can go watch. And this is building locally. We refreshed it. So now let's see. What happens when we look at that? So now when we go back and click one, look at that, folks. Just amazing. Just amazing. It's just incredible. fixes UI bug. I mean, I've already shown the UI bug a couple times, but I can show it again. So if we go to plrank.com and it only happens on Chrome reliably. Maybe you can get it to happen on Firefox. You deselect everything, change 10 to 20, and then go back to Redmonk. And now look at the formatting. It's completely screwed. And anyways, we had to take a detour to simplify the structure of our ClojureScript site. It was temporarily building to a target subdirectory and then copying that over into some public directory. We don't need all that stuff. This is a simple website. We just need one workflow. And so we got rid of target. We restructured our shadow cljs.edn. And now we've got a simplified structure. And we're now going to fix, we've already fixed this. It basically adds a thing that if you select, so for the local version of the site, if you select nothing, it gives this, please select at least one programming language. And if you do that, then you avoid this kind of, ooh. I wonder if that is going to, oh, it looks like because we killed it. That's why. Anyway, so fixes UI bug, and we can go fixes. And we come over to here. So this is one of the bugs. Fixes this. And fixes. This is the same UI bug. And to double check that everything is still working here, we are going to go to, not discussions, go to actions. And this one is expected to fail because it was doing the copying thing still. We got rid of the copying, but really we only care about the latest. Actually, what's going on here? I see check paths, build and deploy, no Jekyll. This is the one we want. And it should be compiling, which it is. And while we're waiting for this, we can go here. We've now closed 3 of these. And we can also edit this to say that this wasn't planned, but we removed target dir simplified project structure. And if we go back here, it's done. And if we come back now to our programming language ranking site, I don't actually know if this is reflected yet. We will see in a second when we deselect all of these. And oh, look, it also implicitly fixed this empty thing. So we need to wait for this to update, but it will in a sec. Fantastic, folks. This is closed. This is closed. This is closed. This is closed. We can close this, this. And what time is it? 3:53. Plenty of time to finish the last issue and then just some general code cleanup. Phenomenal. Is it fixed? Let's try now. It's not fixed yet. Let's go to Firefox. Is Firefox still open? I mean, Firefox, we never had that issue to begin with. So look, now it's updated. We get this little message. We go to 20 or 10, add the stuff back. Perfect. All right. Now, the last of our outstanding issues. And how many issues do we actually have open at this point? Yeah, we're going to be able to close this one and this one. So we'll be down to 3 at the end of this. So as I mentioned before, we can actually just go to this here. If we go to, nope, not this. If we go to helper, all of these are unnecessary. So what I really want here, and I want this to be a new one. This file should actually be unnecessary. I want to be able to dynamically set actually to dynamically select RM, SO, and the other sites source files for 3, 6, and 12 months apart without having to hard code variables for prev 3, prev 6, and prev 12. Are you able to help me with this? We should be able to delete all these, set a current, month variable, and then do some simple math to find X months ago. If X months ago data file doesn't exist, choose the closest date that is older than X months ago. Oh, actually, wait, stop. You got to hit Control Enter to give it access to your whole repo. This, I personally think, should be the easiest. However, Landon says, how goes communioning with the machine spirit? It goes extremely well. Extremely well. We have closed 1, 2, 3 of our outstanding issues, fixed a bug, fixed our deployment via GitHub Actions, simplified our directory structure, and we're just basically doing refactorings now. So all our bugs are fixed, our deployment's fixed, and this is exactly the kind of thing I'm looking for, right? We want to get rid of all of these lines with something like this. And I don't even think we need these local variables, but baby steps, folks, baby steps. I mean, this seems overly complicated. I mean, we could just try it. Yeah, let's just try it. I mean, admittedly, this is more code than I was hoping for. Accept all. I mean, hopefully we'll be able to delete this stuff. I mean, we will be able to delete this stuff, but let's take it for a spin. Let's see if this works. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, see this, I think this is the issues that I ran into last time, is that ClojureScript has a very hard time reading from files dynamically. I mean, this is no better than what I had. Although, I guess if you don't have to manually update it, it is better. Does it work? Probably not. Although this actually seems fine, because I don't need the TIOB stuff. We don't need this. We don't need this. Actually, we do need the... Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, well, we don't need piple. We don't need TIOB because I made those unselectable because TIOB sucks. And piple doesn't really add anything new that language already has. I think what's going on here? Look at that, folks. Wow. It works. It works, but it's dissatisfactory. I mean, so technically this solves the problem of having to update the references, right? All I need to do now is update this every once in a while. So let's, I mean, I really want to get rid of this stuff. Okay, great. This works, but I was really hoping to get rid of these variables and just replace with a macro or function. Is that possible? I mean, this looks very promising. Except for the fact that we've got a compilation error. Oh, I see. I it's now complaining about the exact same thing we complained about before. So what was the latest change that we just made? We need to go back to yes. It does not understand that we deleted those. Does it work now? It's saying what's the error this time? Where's TIOB coming from now? Oh. I mean, we gotta look at this. It works, folks. It works. I mean, it's adding all these comments. We don't need comments, folks. That. Don't need that. Don't need this. Don't need this. Don't need that. Probably this stuff can be simpler too. And I don't think we also don't need this, and we don't need this. Pretty phenomenal, folks. I mean, we don't need this. We don't need this. I mean, and where does this stuff show up, right? Only shows up, you know, right there. So we can, in case it doesn't know, how to do this. I mean, where does site lengths come up too? 10? I mean, that's it, you know? So we go like this. Watch this. Bum, 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 bum. Bum. I mean, I would hope that... Oh, really? I mean, that's amazing. Except I totally this all gets simplified to except it's not suggesting it anymore, which is very sad. There it is. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Oh boy, does it work? Does it work still, or did I break it? I did break it. I see. Can't use a runtime value taken from the checkbox at compile time. Well, let's just go back. Let's commit what we have so far. So this works. The question is, did I reduce the number of lines? Guess we'll find out. Improve previous data lookup. I mean, technically this actually solves my issue. Right? From this point on, it's just going to be refactoring. Closes this. And I'm curious. +5 -4. Technically, we added lines of code. Womp womp. But we are going to, so now all we got to do is just clean up. So we want to clean up this stuff. So yeah, let's start a new one. I want to delete these and use inline, but can you what it is. It did not understand at all. I want to use these variables in line. Let's just go check on our live website to make sure it still works. And it works beautifully, folks. Wonderful. All right, still working locally. All right, that's a kind of mini hack in order to get that to work. Oh, except does work. It does work, so and so let's just commit that. Actually, yeah, let's commit that. And now let's just see. I bet there's a huge opportunity. Okay, Can this be simplified at all? I mean, why does it do this? I've given it... And also, why is it on 3.5 when I do that? There we go. Can you... Did that work? Seems to have worked. Yeah, let's just do the full file now. Look at this, just cleaning up my code. Can I reformat this though? Damn. Is this gonna work? Keep expecting it to break and it does not break. Oh. This is broken. I don't know if I'll be going back to Lambda World. Definitely in the future. Not sure this year yet. True, true, true. I mean, this is definitely what I wanted. Nah, you just peruse it, Paul. Are there any play-ins for an array conf? I've actually not told anybody this, but I bought the domain arraycast, not arraycast, arraycon.ca. And if I have enough time this year, I plan to organize a virtual conference, like a 12-hour virtual conference that starts, I don't know, 8 p.m., 8 a.m. Eastern time, and ends 8 p.m. Eastern time. So it'll go from like 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time, and it'll run in Europe time. I guess that's like 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. And then if you're in Singapore, it would be 8 p.m. until 8 a.m. or in China. Will that happen? TBD. But I am paying for the domain at the moment. And I would be aiming sometime like September, October. So if you've been tuned in for, how long have we been doing this for? 2.5 hours. There's some insider info. I guess this is recycle. Clean up. Let's do this again. And also too, let's update this. Let's see if we've got Gemini 2.5. Take that for a spin if we can. Is it going to automatically... I see. It is updating as we speak. I see. It does not have Gemini 2.5. Maybe in the future it will, though. Can you find any further cleanups / refactorings to shorten / improve the code? All right, now we review. I see it's just pulled this out. Very nice. And now once again it looks a little bit cleaner, more linear. Pulled this out as well. Pulled this out as well. Oh yeah, I guess we should add is this still running? Let's go add Mastodon, and that'll be the last thing we do. Mastodon and Blue Sky. I mean, I kind of want these circle. Let's go do this over here. All right, so let's see if this works now. If we add, I don't even know what my Mastodon. Oh, that looks terrible. That's why you need like icon sets, right? I mean, I'm kind of too lazy to go mess around. For the can you add a check if that then did it get smaller? How terrible. I guess we just need to go find a whole new icon set of YouTube, GitHub, Mastodon, Twitter, Blue Sky. What the colors though, you know? I guess we could just... And let's try blue sky. It's a problem. None of these have GitHub. None of these have GitHub. They don't even have Mastodon in here, though, now that I'm looking at it. Do they? Blue sky. Oh, no, they do right there. Let's just go ask if Claude knows how to use this. That didn't really work. You able to use the icons from here? Oh man, if this works, this would be so epic. It has failed. It has not failed. Why? Okay. What is the issue? Actually, yeah, let's sure for now. All right, this works for the time being. technically we can close. We can close this now. We're done the cleanup. Last thing I want to do is I just want to I want to get this React stuff working. I want to use the icons here. Is that yeah, I think this is the thing I was missing. Accept all. And these logos do look kind of garbage, to be honest. But beggars can't be choosers. Where is my blue sky? How should we organize this? I mean, once again, remarkable that this stuff just works. Can we reduce the size by like 40% and add some padding? Perfect. All right, that's it, folks. Until the next AI stream, this has been phenomenally successful. Try it out, Cursor, Claude 3.7. Have a good night.